Hello folks and welcome. I'm about to run some daily race B. What I don't yet know is the B stands for bad. Well, I'm going to run some qualifying just to get used to this.
Fuji is one of those tracks that's been around since the dawn of Gran Turismo, and I still suck at it. I don't know where to brake. I don't know where to turn. I can't keep my speed through the corners the way you're supposed to. I've never actually been able to master this track, as you can see. And here I managed to screw up the lap before even getting out of turn 0. And coming into the really twisty turny section on lap 4,618,904. I'll be honest, I really don't know what the hell I was doing here. At this point I think I'd forgotten how to drive. And then it happened. I actually put in a lap. A terrible lap of 142.6, but a lap. Then I did it again, and took almost a second off my lap. And then I did it again, and took another almost second off my lap time. 140.369, 139.6. I have at least a half a second to take off. So, on my next lap out, I did actually manage to improve to a 140.6, and then a 140.5, which was enough for P10 on the grid. That's a beautiful livery. That was the very first livery I ever made, which is why I've not changed it. It's my original Wolf Racing. Alright, here we go. A track I don't really know. Oh god, I need to see that. I think there'll be a few people going for a crazy lunge. Okay, yeah, but you can't do it like that, folks. Yeah. I didn't touch him. Not me. So a lot of people in the Huracan. I gotta give you space. You gotta give me space too. I see you. I see you. The old switcheroo. I got the inside line on this one now. He's got the inside line on this one. The double switcheroo. Oh, dude, come on. Sorry. Give me space, I suppose. Oh. And then I got hit by dude because I hit this guy. Oh, come on. The game with the amazing ghosting system, mostly. The terrible penalty system. Man, that's an eternity. So yeah, at the beginning of the week I do a bunch of races on a track I don't know. Do badly, not intentionally. Tank my rating. And then by the time the end of the week comes around, I've gotten used to the track, started to get better. I'm down in C rating, and I got my B rating back. So now the trick is to do the whole cycle without actually dropping a rating and being able to stay in B and potentially go up to A. Oh god, yuck. Unfortunately, nothing else really happened, so we'll skip ahead to lap 5. So as I come around the hairpin just before the twisty turny section, I notice the Brazilian has had himself a moment. I'm thinking, well maybe, just maybe, I can actually get, say, P11 instead of 12. So I just gotta stick with this guy and hopefully overtake him before we get to the end of this particular race. This is the guy that brakes really early. No fault of his own necessarily. He does, so I thought maybe he will here too. Well, he kinda did. Turned into me. Nice day. And then hit me again. Oh. Lovely. Lovely. Back to 15th place on the last corner of the last lap. Welcome to the world of online racing, folks. Jumped into qualifying to see if I could get some semblance of decent time. Pulled off a 1:40.450. Alright, let's see how that does. Unfortunately, only good enough for P12. Here we go, P12. Hoping to not get killed in turn 1. We'll see how this goes. Braking at a little later than normal, so at around 120, 110 to be safe. Managed to get into the corner and through the corner without getting destroyed. Somehow, I don't know what horrible transgression this guy pulled, because he ended up with a 5-second time penalty. And I ended up bumping into the back of the AMG. You can see the radar, it's close. There's 3 people right behind me who are just really anxious to get past. So into this funny little hairpin here, I got a dude on my right, guy zooms in on the left, out of nowhere. Like, okay, sorry I turned into you, but I wasn't expecting you to do that. Really close racing, really so far fair racing. Nobody's tried to kill anybody. It's been bumping and rubbing and, standard racing stuff until there. I got knocked a little bit deep into the corner, so okay, I'm still alright. I'm still ahead because I managed to get there and I'll get around this corner. I'm somehow still ahead. There's 5 cars behind me. Hungry drivers in those cars. And somehow I'm in P9 with a ghost backing into the track. Those are really exciting. I love it when that happens. And this corner I actually kind of got right. The first time this entire time of racing this track. So I was quite happy with that. This corner, not bad. Starting to figure the track out a little bit. Onto the long straight. And I got a second gap to the guy behind me and 2 seconds gap to the guy in front of me, and I've gone from P12 to P8. Make that P7. That's a pretty good start. Heading into lap 2, I've got a second to the guy behind me, 4.5 seconds to the guy in front of me. Hoping maybe I can make up some more ground, but at this point, I just gotta make sure I stay ahead of Mr. Martino, who is slowly starting to gain on me. To make up another spot there with Kiri getting a little bit bent out of shape on turn 1. Now I'm up into P6. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I got a chance at a half decent race here. Maybe I can bring my driver rating up. What a neat idea. Coming through this funny turn, I've never really known how to do this. You can go wide and cut back and get lots of speed, or you can sort of trail brake into the whole thing. For me, at my skill level, the time difference is not actually that significant. Managed to get out of there fairly well. Martino is matching me 1,000th per 1,000th. Into the hairpin, braking at around about halfway along the dark patch of concrete or asphalt there. Gets me to the apex at about the right time. Now Fuji in the background, looking lovely. Still managing to keep ahead of Mr. Martino, so I'm doing okay. Into this funny, twisty, turny section that's never really been my strong suit. See, I was a couple of tenths further ahead, and then I lost those, and at least one more, but I came through there again. Not bad. And then this funny uphill right-hander off camber. It's like over hill, over dale, the turn will ever fail, or something to that effect. All X 25, and then too fast 44. Fastest lap 1:40.384. Well done. And again, roughly a second between me and Mr. Martino. Coming into turn 1, braking at around 130 in this particular car. Gets you to the apex on time. I came through there not too bad, so I pulled out a little bit of extra time. This one, I slow down and I turn at 50. And that seems to be just about right to get me to the apex. Didn't do very well on that one, as you can see. My rival catching up to me. And again, this funny corner is like, oh, looks like I'm going to lose a whole bunch of time, and then I gain it back again. Which line do you take through there? Get it slowed down into second for that so you can get on the gas nice and early. Because this is full throttle right to the hairpin. Into the hairpin, braking halfway between the shadow and the end of the dark section of asphalt. Works great. Gotta say, this is not my favorite track at all, mostly because I'm really not good at it. But I'll take a free P5 from a Huracan going a little wiggy. Alright, lap 3, P5, start at 12th, looking up. This time I braked a tiny bit early, and I actually almost made the apex. Just doing that gained me 3/10. I'm finally starting to figure out the track. Coming across the line, P5, 1.1 seconds ahead of Mr. Martino, 3.8 seconds behind Sheldologist. 2 laps to go. Into turn 1, nice and smooth, just trying to keep everything as clean as I possibly can. Did fairly well through there and managed to pull out a few tenths, most of a second in fact, on Mr. Martino. Coming up toward the hairpin, and I have some advice. Never look behind you when you're about to brake. Unless you want to throw your lap away. And your race. I got to go over the grass. That makes the tires useless. Now they're slippery as hell. I'm trying to get up this hill where the Lambo shoved up my butt. I'm now in full defensive mode, hoping desperately that he doesn't just suddenly decide to throw a dive bomb up the inside. Only it wasn't him that I had to worry about. It was my old friend, Mr. Martino. Fifth to 12th to 13th to 14th. And I'm at the point where I don't even want to keep going. Folks, welcome to online racing. Oh, no. Make that 15th. I did finish the lap. I did finish the race. You can imagine I was not terribly impressed. Alright, here we go into race number whatever this is. 5 or 6, I think. Starting P8. I'm thinking, okay, all I gotta do is stay in P8 and I've got a chance of not having my driver rating tank even further. Into the first corner. Notice we have Mr. Martino in front of me. The Bilstein Lambo is Sheldologist, who was very adamant in answering the request of let's have a clean race with a simple no. That's called foreshadowing, folks. So now I know for a fact I've got at least one person in front of me who is more than happy to take me out. I don't yet know about the Sheldologist, except that his attitude seems a bit wrong. But we have a bot in a green Lambo who decided that he wanted my spot. And badly enough to just keep running into me. Okay, dude, sorry, that's my racing line. You can't just keep banging into me. I know it's weird. Into the hairpin. Going for the switcheroo, but he does a really nice block pass, I have to say. Well done to you. Unfortunately, now he's slow and he's causing me to get slowed down, banging into the back of him because he's just in the way. Trying to be as careful and intentional as I can on this section because it is so finagly and terrible. It's like 9 braking, turning, and acceleration points all jammed up into a tiny little piece of track. And if you miss one of them, you're screwed. Basically how it works. Alright, P8. Into the first turn. Catching up, or staying caught up with him, not doing too badly. Me and Bot are having a good old time. And he insists every single time he turns right, he seems to keep turning right. You'll notice it throughout this race. He does it quite a few times. He's got the inside line, is what it is. I know he's going to just take me out if I try to, stay beside him. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to bother. You notice he went wide there. Thanks, dude. You're really cool. So far, I'm still, 6/10 ahead of Whiskey Throttle, so that's not too bad. Managed to stay ahead at this point. I'm always careful when I see somebody on the inside coming into a tight corner, into a hairpin of any kind. Because I expect them to do a crazy dive bomb. I'm at that point in this game where I expect someone just to do some crazy dive bomb to try to get by. And so I am always careful about, not necessarily just taking the racing line, Case in point. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Throttle. Have you ever considered going around a corner without banging into somebody? Tit for tat and all that. Have a nice day. No offense. So here we go again. I'm behind the bot, who is behind Sheldologist. And way up there is Mr. Martino. I don't even want to know how he got himself up into P3. He was P7. Considering the way he decided to go through the field that one time, I won't make any assumptions. Sheldologist and bot. They're kind of fighting it up a little bit, so bot goes wide. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to sneak up the inside. Not too bad, but he's unfortunately still on the inside now for this corner and takes full advantage. Schnoop, up he goes. All right, so be it. And then good block pass again. I couldn't get past him. Lost my momentum. So into turn one, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try one of those crazy dive things. Everybody else seems to. But the people I went past decided that I wasn't really there and just decided to turn into the apex anyway. I swear to God, bot is actually a bot. Coming through here. Chase me gets a little bit slow and give him a little bit of a bump because there was really no chance to go around him at that point. That's what it is. Now I'm hoping to get a switchback on this, but unfortunately I went into the corner slow, braked early, and screwed the whole darn thing up. Heading into the hairpin, you'll notice Chase goes defensive, but if you look ahead, Mr. Sheldologist gets sent completely off the track and rejoins into me. You see my reaction. I'm in hysterics at this point. It's become comical just how bad this is. This will forever be known as the Great Punting.